Transportation of dangerous goods. The objectives of this course are to provide you with the necessary information to safely handle dangerous goods and meet the requirements of the regulations. Transportation of dangerous goods include products such as goods sent, received via mail and courier. Services and the preparation of hazardous waste will be discussed, as well chemicals for pickup will also be discussed within this presentation. Some definitions that you'll need to know. Carrier means a person who has possession of dangerous goods while they are in transport. Dangerous good is a product, substance, or organism included by its nature or by a TDG regulation in any of the classes listed in the schedule of the Act. Also, an ERAP, which is an Emergency Response Assistance Plan, is required for quantities exceeding those listed in Column 7 of Schedule 1 of the TDG Clear Language Regulation. It is a document outlining the specific emergency procedures in case of accidental release or spill. Handling means loading, unloading, packaging, or unpackaging dangerous goods in a means of containment for the purposes of, in the course of, or following transportation, and includes storing them in a course of transport. IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, IATA, International Air Transportation Association. Receiver, consignee. Initial person who receives a consignment of dangerous goods. Shipper, consigner. A person who offers a consignment of dangerous goods for shipment. TDG, transportation of dangerous goods. TDG certification. A training certificate is valid for 3 years under TDG regulations and 2 years under IATA regulations, which the individual must undergo recertification. An untrained individual may handle dangerous goods provided the goods are handled in the presence and under the direct supervision of an individual who holds a training certificate. A trained person will be issued a training certificate that they must carry whenever handling dangerous goods. This certificate must be provided to an inspector immediately upon request. Responsibilities of the shipper. Ensure all aspects of the regulations are met. Classify the dangerous goods. Verify limits, special provisions. Package and separate incompatible dangerous goods. Ensure the proper display of safety marks. Prepare shipping document. Report accidents and incidental release. Keep copy of shipping document. Responsibilities of receivers. Ensure all aspects of the regulation are met. Recognize all safety marks and be knowledgeable of what you are handling. Unload the goods safely. Advise responsible person when consignment is non-compliant. Report accidents and incidental release. Keep a copy of shipping document for 2 years. Offenses under the Act. Failure to comply with the requirements of the Transportation of Dangerous Goods Act could result in charges which may include fines, jail time, prohibition of transporting dangerous goods for up to 1 year, compensation for damage to the environment or spill cleanup, payment for conducting technical research and investigation. TDG hazard classification. TDG regulations classify dangerous goods into 9 hazard classes. Some classes are further divided into divisions. For example, 2 gases has a division. 2.1 is a flammable gas. 2.2 is a non-flammable gas. 2.3 is a toxic gas. The 9 hazard classes. Class 1, explosive. Examples include dynamite and black powder. Class 2, gases. Examples include propane and natural gas. Class 3, flammable liquids, which include examples of gasoline and fuel oil. Class 4, flammable solids, spontaneously combustible in substances that, on contact with water, emit flammable gases. Class 5, oxidizing substances and organic peroxides. Examples, hydrogen peroxide, ammonium nitrate. Class 6, poisonous, toxic, and infectious substances. Examples are anthrax and medical waste. Class 7, Radioactive materials, which include examples of phosphorus and tritium. Class 8 corrosives. Examples include sulfuric acid and caustic acid. Class 8 corrosives. Examples include sulfuric acid and caustic soda. Class 9 miscellaneous products, substances, and organisms. Examples include bacteria. Labels and placards. Labels and placards are diamond-shaped symbols representing the hazard class. The color, design, and size must meet specific requirements. Labels can be obtained from online suppliers. Dangerous good classification. The shipper is responsible for the proper classification of dangerous goods. Dangerous goods classification can be obtained by consulting Schedule 1 of the TDG regulation for a list of shipping classes. An online search can be made at the following link below. For transport by air consult and following shipping guideline, a sample below link can be used for such a shipping guideline. Obtaining the TDG classification from the manufacturer or original shipper, consulting an MSDS with the specific material, and contacting the Environmental Health and Safety Board. Dangerous goods classification continued. All chemicals are classified according to a primary hazard class, and some may have subsidiary classes. For example, acetone is listed in Schedule 1, Column 3 as a Class 3 flammable substance. It has no subsidiary class. Chloractic acid solution is classified as a Class 6.18. 6.1 toxic is the corrosive classification, and 8 corrosive is the subsidiary class. ERAP. According to the TDG Clear Language Regulation, some dangerous goods cannot be shipped above certain specified quantities unless an emergency response assistance plan has been developed. The quantity limits is expressed as liters or kilograms for liquids and solids respectively. Dangerous goods packaging. Dangerous goods including hazardous waste must be packaged in a container that has met set design and testing requirements. These containers are stamped with the appropriate UN certification mark. Different packages are available depending on the type of material you are shipping. For example, if biological samples are shipped on dry ice, an appropriate package that also for the venting of CO2 gas must be used. UN-approved boxes are available on selected areas on campus. You may be ordered from the International Compliance Center. Dangerous goods packaging continued. The means of transport, ground or air, further determines the type of packaging that is required. Packages shipped only by ground must meet the packaging instructions of the TDG Clear Language Regulations. If your package will at any point be transported by air, it must meet the packaging requirements set out by the IATA regulation. Dangerous goods continued. Below is an example of a UN certification mark you might see on a cardboard box. Packaging groups. There are 3 packaging groups indicating the severity of a hazard involved. Packaging Group 1, Great Danger. Packaging Group 2, Medium Danger. Packaging Group 3, Minor Danger. General Packaging Guidelines. Ensure primary containers, bottles, vials, etc. are labeled and well sealed to prevent leaking. Line your UN-approved box with a secondary waterproof container, sealable bag, plastic closable container, etc. Place chemicals into box when packaging multiple chemicals for hazard waste disposal. Ensure only compatible chemicals are shipped in the same box. When shipping liquids, fill the bag inside the box with an absorbent material such as a vermiculate or chemical absorbent pads. Ensure enough material is used to absorb all of the chemicals in the event of a spill. General Packaging Guideline. When shipping solids, fill the box with a non-reactive padding material, preferably vermiculate, to ensure the chemicals are secure. You cannot move inside the box. Seal the bag. Close and seal the box with shipping tape. When shipping a product or samples via courier services, attach all appropriate labels and markings to the outside of the box. When shipping waste, attach a copy of the hazardous materials disposal form request that lists all chemicals in the box. This form should be attached in a waterproof envelope to the outside of the box. Outer package requirements. When shipping a product or samples via mail or courier, the following items must be attached to the outside of the box. Orientation label. For liquids only when transported by air. Hazard class labels, primary and subsidiary. Standardized UN certification mark automatically appears on the UN certified packaging. Shipping name as it appears in the regulations, case sensitive. Identification number, UN number. Example of a dangerous goods, safety marks, small means of containment. As we see in this diagram, there is a box which is properly marked and labeled with all the proper diagrams and labels. Label number 1 is the orientation label. Label number 2 is the primary class label. Label number 3 is the standardized UN certification according to the standard. Label 4 is the shipping name. Label 5 is the UN number. Label 6 is the subsidiary class label. Class 7. Shipping of radioactive materials. Special consideration must be taken when shipping radioactive materials. Special training is also required when shipping the material which is provided by the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission. Damaged package or spills. Damaged packages containing dangerous goods must be accepted. Under the packaging and transport of nuclear substances regulations, a consignee cannot refuse a shipment that is damaged. If the shipment is knowingly not in compliance, this will apply to all shipments of dangerous goods. If you receive a damaged package, note that it has been damaged on the accompanying shipping documentation and notify the shipper for reimbursements. Small spill or damaged packages. Clean up only small spills if you have been properly trained and you have the appropriate spill cleanup materials. Shipping documentation. The shipper is responsible for filling out the proper shipping documentation that can be only signed by a trained employee or an untrained employee working in the presence and under the direct supervision of the individual who holds a training certificate. Shipping documentation continued. 3 documents apply to the shipping of the dangerous goods depending on the mode of transport and the type of goods being shipped. Straight of bill of lading form for shipments by ground under TDG. Shipper's declaration of dangerous goods form for shipments by air under IATA. Waste manifest for shipments of hazardous waste. Forms can be found by most couriers companies. Shipping documentation. A dangerous goods form must include following information. It must show proper shipping name, class, UN number, must include UN, example is UN 1090, and the packaging group. Contents, information and packaging information, acetone, shipping name taken from Schedule 1. Class 3, UN 1090, PG2, net quantity 5.0 liters in 1 fiber barred box. Shipping record retention. Departments are responsible for maintaining shipping documentation on record for 2 years following the date of shipment. Conclusion. Know what you are handling. Does the shipment contain hazardous materials or hazardous goods? Hazardous material shipments should be handled by knowledgeable and trained staff. Prepare for emergencies. Keep spill supplies and emergency contact numbers on hand. Take time to review response.